as well. Nothing theoretical or any of that stuff. I probably have like 3 or 4 PowerPoint my training. Everything is all hands-on. Does that answer your question, Jujit?
Yes, it does, Paul. Thank you. So what I can infer from what you just said that one does not need any programming languages to qualify as a software tester. There's no need for that.
So let me add that. Let me add that, right? So you don't need programming language to enter the field, right? But you have to be a lifelong learner. You have to be really willing to learn more, right? Because manual testing is great, but then at some point they might say, okay, can you try to automate some of these tests so we can go faster, right? That's where the code comes in. But even with the code, you just need a minimal knowledge, core Java or core Python, right? Which are skills you can easily pick up, right? What I do for my students is I want you to learn the manual side, be able to get a job, start the job. While on the job, then you take the automation piece and be able to learn how to sort of automate your test. Because learning both, if you're somebody who's trying to enter into the field, it's not advisable because then you're not able to sort of focus to get a job, right? You can't learn automation and manual at the same time. The recommendation is start with a manual. There are still jobs for manual. And then eventually learn a little bit of code and go into the automation route, okay? So you can go that route if you choose to, right? But, I just wanted to add that.
Okay, thank you so much. So you mentioned early on that software testing opportunities are available in almost every sector, the financial services, health sector, media, manufacturing, I guess professional services. They all need people to test something for them, whether it's a software, whatever it is. And so could you please share with us if you have any data on the future of software testing as a career choice? Because the fear of many is that artificial intelligence and robotics and machine learning and all that may take over the job of a software tester in no time. And so if someone should invest, make an investment into this field, and let's say 10 years down the line, robotics take over, I don't know how it will feel like. So you are the expert, you have the data. What is the market saying when it comes to the future of software testing in the US, to be specific, or let's say North America, or all over the world in advanced nations, or every nation? What is the market outlook right now? Thank you.
Good. Yeah, I do share that concern. I think automation is where everything is going. But companies still need individuals to be able to look at the software and be able to test it, see what is happening with the software, to be able to even read the underlying requirements for the software and create test cases for it, right? So there's still going to be that manual effort that is needed in that environment, regardless of the automation, right? So it's not a field that is going anywhere anytime soon. I think there's still a prospect, there's still jobs, there's still opportunities that are going to be there for the future to come. Notwithstanding the fact that automation is also going to kick in, but there's still going to be that manual intervention needed for this role.
All right, thank you so much, Paul. So if you just joined the conversation, we are having a chat with one of our founders, Mr. Paul Wood, about getting into tech as a software tester. So thank you for your time. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying with us, more importantly. And if you have not followed the house, kindly do so. We are here every Thursday between the hours of 7 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern. And so I would say that as a strategist, business mapping is very essential in making sure that the end user or the customer has a smooth client experience when it comes to online services. And I believe that the mandate falls under software testers under their job description to make sure that whatever product that we are putting out there, that, let's just say we are the ones who put Clubhouse out there. The end user is very happy with the service. The mic is not glitching when I'm talking, when I'm supposed to be on mute. You cannot hear the background conversation in my home and all that. And so I'm very appreciative of this field. My other question, I think Enyonam will come in later, but I would like to find out about when it comes to salaries and entry-level salaries and all that. Is that very lucrative? Like, is it I've been told that the median income or the salary is about 90,000 US to start with. I'm not too sure if that's the truth, but if you could please share that information with us as to the entry-level positions, what the pay is for a software tester. Thank you.
Okay, so this is a field that is still continually accepting, entry-level folks, right? Some reason individuals will hire you if you have 0 to 2 years of experience. And most of that has been manifested to some of my students. Just 0 to 2 years of experience. And most of the salaries they get at 0 to 2 years of experience is about 80, 85 in that range. Okay. But then if you're experienced, let's say if you're like 3 years in to let's say 6 years in, you're looking at something around the 100 to like that 120 salary range, right? But you could get in with 80,000 as a starting salary, 0 to 2 years of experience. And as you gain more experience, as you learn API testing, as you learn automation folks make at least up to like 150,000, sometimes 130,000. And then if you go beyond automation, you learn things like EPI and the rest of the stuff. You're talking about making a whole lot, like I'm talking about 170 range. So you can really, it's one of the fields where you can, it's really about how much you make depends really on how much you know, right? And the more you know, the more testing you do. You learn EDI testing, you learn Section 508 testing, you learn network testing, you learn some API, and you're talking about getting 2 jobs or maybe making over 200K. So very lucrative. They pay well. It's a lot of work, but it's also very rewarding. That's what I was saying.
All right. Thank you so much, Paul. You mentioned a bit about the classes that you offer. I would like to hand over the mic to Enyonam for her to proceed with the next set of questions, but thank you, and I'll come in later. So Enyonam, if you are ready, you can proceed with the next set of questions, please.
Thank you so much, Georgette, for taking it over. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. If you're here today, you're definitely in Diaspora Techies. Thank you for sharing your time with us. If you're new and you have not followed us, make sure you click on the greenhouse button on your left-hand corner and follow us so that anytime we open up a room, you can certainly be able to get a notification to come join us and listen. Kim, thank you for taking your time today. Now, I have a few questions for you. I think Georgette, answered most of the questions, or asked you most of the questions. Now, my question is, if I am a newbie and I want to join, do I need some sort of certification to do software testing?
You really don't, but if you want to sort of have something to, make your profile better, there's a certification called ISTQB. It's an online certification. I do point my students there sometimes. I'm certified in that. It's just a software testing foundational certification that sort of teaches you all the ins and outs of testing in terms of like the real practice, the real practitioner level software testing. But it's not required. I mean, it's something you can add to sort of boost your profile. If there's an industry that doesn't even require certification, I actually never attended an interview where they asked me about certification in software testing before. So yeah, it's not a requirement, but it's good to have.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. So, would you say that if software testing would be something that, as a newbie starting out in IT, should start my way through and branch out to see what I would like? Would you say software testing would be a great avenue?
I think it's good for newbies. I mean, like I said earlier, it's one of those industries that it teaches you a lot, right? You are working with software developers who are one of the smartest people you can ever meet, right? These guys develop all kinds of different softwares. They write code. You're working with, PMs, project managers. You have business analysis right next to you that you observe what they do on a daily basis. And I really do think it's a good starting point for someone who's just trying to enter into IT. Who doesn't want to write any certification, or who's not interested in going to school, or taking additional classes and going to university and getting masters and things like that. But it's a solid career, and once you get into an industry, you're basically pretty much there forever. If you get a job with like AT&T as a QA person, you're just there, right? Testing their new applications. Helping them with maintenance, maintaining application day to day. And it's a wonderful field. So if you're new to IT, this is how I entered to IT without any boundaries. So, highly recommended for someone who is new and wanting to learn this. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ken. So people, if you're here today and you have no idea, if you want to start to use software, I would say go for it. It's not too technical. If you're thinking about the technicality, one thing that Ken didn't mention is just about anything, for even your Facebook, your IG, everything that you touch on, your phone. For it to be able to launch, a software tester has to touch it, make sure that the developer actually did what it's supposed to be developing. And then if it's done correctly, it goes back to the developer, it's approved, and then, goes back to higher end. So I think it's actually a cool thing if you're thinking about, what do I start in IT, and you are like, I am not sure if this is like a really good avenue for you to start on. If there's not much of coding in there, unless you want to do the automation. So I will always advise. And one thing, Ken, I want to know is, if I, for instance, want to be part of your class for you to teach me how to, test software, how much is your starting point?
All right. So yeah, my class, I sort of took a break by 2020 when the pandemic hit. And I haven't done that in a while because I've been busy with other things. But usually, my class is 2,000. Why is it 2,000? The reason is that I teach not only the manual, I teach a little bit of automation. I also teach you mobile testing, right? You learn how to connect a mobile device, be able to install an app on there, test it, right? And not just the web application where you go into the website and test it. We're also learning mobile applications as well. I'm also giving you some healthcare because I have most of my backgrounds in healthcare. I'm giving you that healthcare back QA. I'm giving you general application training as well. So by the time you finish, you can either go into all these different domains if you choose to. If there's a mobile testing job, you can apply for it. If there's a web testing job, you can apply for it. If there's a database testing job, you can go for it, right? So you learn all these different things that gives you. On top of it, I introduced you to Section 508 testing. Not much of it, because with that type of testing, unless you're in the DC area, or unless you're working for a federal government or one of the local governments, Private companies don't really hire like that, right? So the individuals who are DC focused or Maryland, Virginia focused, those individuals, I get to sort of spend time with them in terms of Section 508 testing to sort of brighten their horizon to get more offers in that sector as well. So it's intensive. I put a lot of work into it. I believe in, helping you. The money, yeah, is great. It's just for my effort. But what I give you is a lifetime support, right? If I can actually guarantee people on this platform, I would. But if I'm guaranteeing you that you get a job, then you also have to make sure you follow all my checklists and make sure you get everything correctly, right? It's a give and take. But I won't guarantee. What I will tell you is that if you follow everything I tell you to follow, if you do the work, the assignments I give you, and if you really apply yourself, then yes, you'll be able to get a job for the class. So for Diaspora Techies, it's going to be 1,500, but usually it's 2,000. So thanks.
And can one make payment arrangements, or is it upfront?
Yeah, so for payments, we can do 3 installments, 2 installments. I'm cool with it. Again, it's not that serious. I'm interested in, even if it's 2 people who are serious, I want to change life that way. So that's sort of how I operate.
Yeah, so people, if you're here today, you're interested, definitely reach out to us. Any of the mods, you can backstage us. We do have a Telegram platform as well. If you're interested to join, definitely message any of the mods and we will definitely send you the link. I am not endorsing, but one thing I would say is I personally did take the software testing myself, and what I noted is I came back asking Ken questions about my class, and the way he's explaining his class right now, it looks like it's very, very in depth, and he's not basically teaching you the theoretical part of it or giving you the basis of what you need to do. He's actually, giving you the grounds of, what you will face on the job. So if you're here and you're thinking about it, I will highly recommend his class, that you take it, reach out to any of us, and we could certainly give you the right direction as well. Before the last question, however, before we open up the hand raised button, can you tell us more about, I know you did touch on the healthcare software testing, so that's where you basically you are more in depth in. What other area? I know you mentioned it as well.
Yeah, so I've done mostly healthcare, but I've also done some things with maps. Right, if you're familiar with maps, I've done some testing with maps that I use for more mission critical operations and things like that. So, for example, if you're here to alert somebody that you're here, or maybe a bomb is coming. So I've done so many other types of testing. I think the idea is, having a fundamental understanding, right? And being able to apply it to these different things. But then if, in the class, I like to highlight healthcare, I like to highlight, telehealth, right? Because those are the areas I'm most familiar with. But that doesn't mean that you cannot apply the same thing to any other QA. QA is just QA, right? Understanding what the requirements are, understanding how you can plan your test, writing your test, testing it, managing your defect. It's as simple as that. And if you can understand the concept and the processes, then you should be able to apply to everything else. And then one thing I would also talk about, as far as my classes, I have an 8-hour video that every student, before I even take your money, you have to watch that 8-hour video completely, because otherwise you waste my time. I don't want my time to be wasted. So 8-hour video covers all the concept, the things we'll be doing, and all of that in depth QA 8-hour training. So that when you come and I'm talking about something, it's not music to your ears. You sort of understand it already, right? And then we are moving on. We're actually building the projects and doing what we need to do. to get jobs.
Thank you so much. Now, someone did back channel me about a certification. I know you mentioned it, but I would like you to mention it again. So what's the recommended certifications for one to take for software testing?
I think it's called ISTQB. That's the name of the certification, ISTQB. Or you can just type in software tester foundational level. Just type it in Google and it will take you to the American Software Qualification Board website, and you'll be able to see the application requirement for that one.
Okay, thank you so much. So if you're here in our audience, welcome today. You're here at Diaspora Techies. We are having a discussion with Ken about getting into tech as a software tester. So if you have any question, please raise your hand and we can certainly let you on stage for any question that you want to ask. Even if it's not about software tests, it's about something else that we can answer. If we can't, we can certainly, branch you in the right direction. So do raise your hand, come on stage, and don't feel shy. Come ask your question. Okay. Go ahead. Georgette, were you about to say something?
No, Anne-Marie came on stage. I have nothing to say. Please, welcome on stage, Anne-Marie.
Hello, my question is, there are so many boot camps out there. Is it possible to actually get a job from those 6-week training, or is it a lie?
Is this in relation to software testing or talking about bootcamp in general?
Yeah, there's quality and there's different testing classes. I need a class that's in person because I learn better that way. So that's why I'm asking.
All right, cool. So I tell you what, a lot of people are offering these classes. It's everywhere. And
Hi, my name is Arbel.
I don't know if I can really speak to the quality of these classes, but there are classes. Even if you look at Udemy, you can find a class for $9, right? I think the difference between paying for a course like mine and some of these other folks is I'm with you through the journey, right? I'm with you from the beginning to the very end when you get a job. Until you get a job, I don't leave you alone. Like my students, I don't know if some of them are in the audience, but they'll tell you I'm really keen about, if you're serious though, right? That part I can't take that because I can teach you everything, but an effort will have to come from you, right? So if you really, really, really want to do it and you've really written down somewhere in your room that I want to be a software tester and you manifest it every day, then I can come in and help you, right? These bootcamps, I don't know the content of it. Some may be helpful, some may not be helpful, right? And you don't know who you're paying your money to, you don't know what they can guarantee and things like that. So, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, but I would say, find someone you can trust in that, especially if they're charging a lot of money, right? You want to be able to know who's teaching it and things like that. Yeah, I don't know. Anybody else can sort of chime in, but that's what I have as far as that.
Yeah. Hi everyone, and thank you so much for being here. My name is Ambemo. Thank you so much, King Paul, for this wonderful presentation. So I just want to say that so we've come a long way, and for Paul or King to be talking about his experience and what he has done over the years. I remember when we started, it was way back in Richmond, right? I was there when he took the class and then he went to take the test, like the certification. So this is somebody who not only has been in the field for years, but he also have the certification to back it up. I also want to say that aside the experience that he possessed, he and I developed an app from scratch. And what it means is that we just woke up one day and decided to develop this app, which is in the App Store and Google Play. So we came out with the user requirements, we tested it ourselves. At a point, we got a couple of friends to help us test it. So he knows what he's doing. He knows a lot of people back in the day took training from him, and they can attest to it that he's very good at what he does. So if you're in the audience, you're looking for us, we want to give back. And that's one of the reasons why when we started this Clubhouse, or when we even started the WhatsApp group, which now we have Telegram, he did not show up and say, oh, I do training. If you guys observe, those who always come to our platform, this is the first time that he's doing a training, but he spearhead this platform and give opportunity to others to come and present or showcase their trainings. And that's something that is very commendable that we have to applaud for. So if you're looking for a training that's, for us, again, we are not just trying to get people into tech. We also want to find out your interest. So maybe if cybersecurity is too heavy for you, if you don't want to do vendor risk, if you don't want to go to cloud or do a BI, and you just want to test, you write user requirement, he is the best person to contact. There was a question about if there is a degree. What I will say is, in addition to what King said, is that there are schools that are putting in project management into their either computer science or information technology or information management or cybersecurity. There are schools that are doing that. What they're doing is that they have what we call software processing. Software processing 1.
Okay, I think we lost our memo.
Hello, can you guys hear me? Hello?
We can hear you.
Okay. All right, so what I was saying is that there are a lot of schools that are really being smart, and they are putting in a lot of courses like software processing into their curriculum. That they have first software processing, where they teach you project management first, and then software processing 2, where they teach you software testing, how to test software, but not as deep as what King is doing. And in terms of the boot camp, we will not be able to advise you as to whether you should go for A or B. What we advise is that anybody who comes to our platform who does training, they don't just train you and leave you. They do after sales service. As when it comes to sales, they hang on you, they prep you, they communicate with you, they expose you to other platforms, they get other people involved to be able to help you. If King and the two of us solely, we've been able to come with a user requirement, develop a mobile app, tested it, deployed it into the App Store and Google Play. It is not just something that we are saying, it's something that we've done. So then it's easy for us to show you the way and say, okay, if you want to test the software, he's going to give you a platform for you to do that, create a Jira ticket, and then be able to put all the projects in there for you to do. So I just want to encourage everyone, if that's the route you want to go, you're in a safe place, you're better off joining this platform rather than going to do a boot camp. We are not saying bootcamp is not good. It's good for some people, but our platform, we have Telegram that we're going to add you to. And I know that King will also provide a WhatsApp platform where if anybody has to jump in to be able to help you, we will be able to do that as well. So thank you so much for being here. I just want to add that to it, that we are here to support, we are here to help, and we are so happy to give to our community in Diaspora Techies. My name is Amemo, and I'm speaking.
Amemo, thank you so much. And I would like to chime in a bit, please, if you don't mind. So thank you, Anne-Marie, for your question. I've heard about, I'm not saying Diaspora Techies is a credible platform.